I'm Mom.
I'm Dad.
And these are my parents. So let's talk about how you guys got into the whole vegetarian thing in the first place.
Well, it's your fault.
Mhm.
You'd done it before, and so we saw that it wasn't impossible, but we weren't that interested in participating. But then you started showing us some stuff that I started reading, and it made it. I guess it was one of those things where you kind of always knew that animals were being mistreated and this was a healthier diet, but you kind of liked what you always did, so you sort of ignored it.
Yeah.
And so once you kind of see it in black and white, it seems more real and like maybe it might be worth trying.
So
and
what was
like
it?
To lose some weight too.
What was the thing that hit you the hardest?
Oh, probably. Gosh, that's hard because there are two things. Reading the way the animals are slaughtered sloppily was pretty hard to think about, and then just reading about how unhealthy a traditional diet really is. That our bodies are not made to digest a lot of the foods that we have grown up thinking were a healthy part of the diet.
So what about the whole vegan thing?
Well, that's one of those things where you think about being vegetarian and all the reasons you're doing that, and if you're doing that, it really doesn't make sense not to be vegan, but it's just it's more extreme, and I think I need to ease into it, but set that as the ultimate goal.
Why do you say it doesn't make sense to be vegetarian without being vegan?
Because all the reasons to be vegetarian are the same reasons to be vegan. The dairy stuff, those animals are just as mistreated as the ones we eat, and the food that they produce is just as unhealthy for our bodies.
Right, so you're gonna be doing this kind of with me for the next year. Do you plan on it being like a forever thing?
You're not talking.
I was gonna make Dad talk in a second.
Okay. I can imagine it turning into a forever thing. It's just scary to say that right now.
I agree with that. So, Dad, why are you doing all this then?
I'm going along with Mom.
Right. So you have no personal feelings about this whole thing. You're just doing what Mom does?
Not at the moment. I don't have any personal feelings. I mean, I have personal feelings, but not about this subject.
Do you think it might be healthier to eat this way?
It might be healthier to eat this way. I don't doubt that you can affect your cholesterol, which is important.
Right.
I think, however, that vegetarians can end up eating poorly also.
Definitely.
So it's you have to be figuring out how. I mean, as you go into this, you got to be figuring out how you're going to not eat poorly, because you easily can. You can always say, "Well, I'm having this grilled cheese sandwich. Aren't I healthy?"
What are your biggest concerns?
I don't really have any concerns. Mom's sort of coming up with since I go to work
every day,
and Mom stays home every day, and she likes to plan things. It's more of a planning thing, and she'll come up with a good plan and come up with good tasting foods for us. So I'm not really too concerned about it, because I'll get home and we'll fix dinner, and that'll be about, and I'll take leftovers to work, and we'll see how the whole thing goes. I've never had any real, in my mind at least, that I know of, cravings for meat.
Yeah.
Now, I may find out that I do have cravings for meat after all of this starts, but as long as food tastes good and it satisfies me, then I don't know why I should worry about that.
No dairy, no eggs. Does that concern you?
Well,
Cheese.
we're not doing vegan yet.
Yet.
But if we were to move in that direction,
if we were to go to vegan, it's just another step down the road, but that's a much stronger, harder step than just vegetarianism.
I think I agree with you that becoming a vegetarian and still eating dairy is probably half as big a step as than giving up the dairy. For us anyway, because we eat an awful lot of dairy.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest concern is evenings, snacking, because we like to snack a lot in the evenings, and it tends to be dairy-based a lot of times. And the other thing is, you just go outside, you go run errands or anything, and you smell meat.
Yeah.
You go by the McDonald's and you smell that, or you smell the ribs, or you smell something when you're out a lot of the time, and it's always meat, and it always smells good. I hope to do a lot more reading, and the reading that I think I'm going to do is probably going to support it, and probably make the whole meat thing seem distasteful, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just the whole idea, and you would think that might stick with you for the long haul.
Yeah.
But you're always, when you're in the honeymoon stage of anything, you think it's going to last forever. But I'd kind of like to think that this one would, because it's healthier. I'm convinced it's healthier, and that should be reason enough.
And really, what it's going to get down to is taste, flavor. Those things are important to everybody, I think. So
Texture.
And eating correctly is just something that we have done from time to time very well. We have stayed away from red meat. Some, and well,
based on the knowledge we had at the time, I think we've done well.
Yep. But we've dieted before, so this is, to me, no different than another start of a diet, and it's the beginning of the year, so heck,
what better time?
We'll see how we do.